Hello, everyone. Welcome to the open forum for doulas in business. We are specifically talking about business today as doulas. If this is your first time here, my name is Melissa Fernandez. I'm a postpartum doula. I'm the owner of the Atlanta Postpartum Doula, and I also am a retired Cirque du Soleil acrobat. I'm an energetic practitioner, and I'm a wife and a mom to 3 kids, and I've got one of my kids here with me. This is baby Jack. He's 6 months old, and I host these open forums because I think it's fun. Doulas love gathering and getting together, and I think it's really important that we do that. And so I created this. We do it once a month. It's completely free. And the intentions behind it, how the flow of it kind of works, is that I'm here to guide the conversation. I bring a prompt, a topic, and we discuss it. And you guys share if you want to. And as doulas, we either provide feedback if we have, our own experiences that went really well, or maybe we just have things that we want to share with our doula colleagues. This is a really good space for bouncing ideas off each other, finding solutions that maybe you weren't able to see it, because right, you don't know what you don't know. So this is a place where we can find solutions, and super fun to just get together, as I mentioned earlier. So if you're just coming in, you can share your location, share any of your internet home information. So if you want to share your website or your Instagram handle, we can all get kind of connected in those spaces. And I shared a little bit about me. I'm also a business mentor and coach for doulas. So that is something else that I do, as well as working with families. And I am really excited to be here. So that was a lot of stuff, right? For today, what I wanted to talk about is I want to ask you guys, what are you currently working on today? And if you feel comfortable, share with us. Anybody would like to go first? Go ahead, Courtney.
I'll go because I'm working on something really exciting. So I just moved to, can you hear me actually first?
Yes.
Okay. I just moved to Texas from California. And so I'm trying to get plugged in. And so I found a local like organic baby shop here. And I offered to, well, I didn't offer, but I wanted to network with her. And so we came up with a plan of me just renting the back room of her store, and I just teach classes. So I've already came up with a baby daddy boot camp, and this month was the first month that I taught that class. And so I'm going to be rotating 3 classes that I've made, it's just like a presentation style hands-on class. And I take like 2 or 3 people at a time. And so I'm doing a basics of breastfeeding class, a baby daddy boot camp to get them prepared, and then just a general childbirth education course. And so I only take, a couple people to keep it intimate, and that gets my name out there. So I thought that was really cool that I had the opportunity to do that.
That is awesome. Congratulations. That's huge. Yeah, like that's a really big step you did a lot all in one go. That's amazing. And for just moving also, like moving is a big deal in and of itself. So congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That is so fun. Are you coming along with are there any bumps along the way, or you're just kind of getting started? And
so my baby keeps signing to me. So I am not a very good presenter. I've noticed that. And also, I think when people, do you want more? I think when people sign up for a class like that, they're thinking maybe it's going to be like simple and fun. And I am not a presenter, so I don't know really how to do that. So I'm very much information forward. And so I talk a lot, and I think it gets boring. I planned out the class and it should have been around like 2 hours, but since they asked so many questions and I talked so much, it lasted 5 hours. And I was like, I am so sorry, but like there's so much information. So that's kind of the biggest hang up that I have right now is I don't really know how to pare it down because all of it is so important. So someone mentioned selling them online on my website, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. And I'm rebranding right now since I just moved. So I don't know, maybe that'll come in the future, but that's my hang up right now.
Anybody have insights they want to share and provide feedback about that, about like cutting it down a little bit? Sarah?
What if instead of paring it down, you kind of did the opposite and just made it like a series, like once every 2 weeks or like 3 Fridays in a row or something? And that way you don't have to rush. They still feel like, and then I feel like you're more in their brain, right? If you're in their brain for one day, right, then they might, 2 months later, they might have forgotten your name or your business name, not know how to find you again. But if you're in their head for a couple of weeks at a time, that will give them, you're more at the forefront of their brain for a whole month or whatever, and they're more likely to run into other people and mention you, as well as not feel like you have to cut all that good information you're giving out.
I think that is great. That's a great idea. I'm just stepping my toes in the water, so I was really nervous to do like a series for my first like branching out. But so to conquer that, I actually printed off the whole presentation and I made folders for the people that attended, and it had the whole presentation in it, and I gave them a pin to like write notes and stuff. So that helped a little bit because if they didn't retain it, they'll still have it. But yeah, I don't want to do that in the future because it just feels like a class you don't want to go to, that science class that you have to take notes that you really don't want to go to. Thank you though for your feedback.
Anybody else have feedback around that? I think that was incredible feedback, Sarah. Thanks. And yeah, feel free to come off of mute and like share little tidbits. Like that's totally cool in this space. I agree with what Sarah said. And then also, Courtney, I think what someone else has shared with you about taking a portion of it online could be really, really useful, because the truth is exactly what you said. There is a lot of information. And especially as doulas, we want to help so much that we just kind of, wow, here it is. I want you to know all of it. So the trick for us as business owners, because you are in a business, is how can you make it digestible for your families? Because that is very, very important. So figuring out what works best for you, because you're in a big change right now. Like you just moved, you're setting yourself up in this new community. And of course, you don't want to do too many things that feel overwhelming to you. But what happened was you did this class and you got a lot of really good data from attending it and from presenting it. You're like, oh, okay, actually, I have a lot to share. It's about 5 hours worth of content. How do I break it down?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's great. Thank you so much for sharing, and congratulations again. That's huge. All right. So if you're just joining us right now, we are talking about what are you working on right now? And so anybody who would like to share what they're currently moving through, you can just come right off camera and let us know.
Hey, my name is Toya. I'm actually a new doula, so I'm working on getting everything together. I'm finishing my certification, so I should have that by the end of the month. And I'm also, trying to get to do the interviews and stuff like that down pack together. So I'm pretty much fresh. So I'm just here learning from what you guys are presenting. Courtney, that's very good. Congratulations on your accomplishments. And yeah, to break it up in series, I think is a very good idea. So yeah, I'm here tuning in.
Thank you, Toya. That's amazing. Congratulations on, you're almost there. You're getting to that last step. Does anyone have like words of wisdom, or what do you remember when you were in that space? And like, what could have been super helpful to hear from more experienced doulas as you're about to embark on this journey? Go for it, Courtney.
I feel like I'm going to talk a lot, but I feel like no one else is talking. So I was just going through this with the big move. It kind of made me rethink about what I'm bringing to the table, because, I'm in a new group of doulas, new group of birth workers, just a new birth space in general. And so I felt very intimidated and overwhelmed. And so going back to the basics of, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to know what to say all the time. And that's the whole point of gaining experience, is that you might not know now, but through reaching out and through branching out and getting out there, you're going to learn so much more than you would if you just sit back and say, I have to learn so much more before I can get a client, or I have to work and learn about all of these things so I have the right thing to say, when in reality, you're going to be hit with situations in every single client that you get that you're not going to know the answer to. And so it's just a big opportunity for growth through the whole thing. And to also not compare yourself to the people around you, because your client picked you for a reason, because they like what you have to bring to the table. And more than knowledge is important, experience and communication and connection is probably more important than knowledge. So if you just bring your experience and your heart to the table, the rest will follow.
Oh, so well said, Courtney. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Annika. Thanks for having me here. I'll also say one of the things that's really important when you start out is to network with your community, and, go to these events where doulas meet up, events which are virtual, because it makes such a big difference when you connect with other doulas. And it could be just that one little thing that you pick up from another doula and add it to your practice with your own essence. That makes a world of a difference. Just community is everything, I would say, in this doula world, because it can get isolating after some time, and you want people to process things with or fall back on when that happens.
Oh, that's beautiful too. Oh, this is so amazing, guys. I love what you both said. And I think what's really important from what Courtney said was that it's a phrase I use often: action brings clarity. And so, yeah, while you don't know all the things, nobody's ever going to know all the things. That's just life in general. But when you let yourself be vulnerable and take a step and take an action towards something, you're going to be able to discern whether or not that's for you or not, which is really important to know what's not for you. And then you continue forward. And the other piece too, community, what Annika is saying, this is another reason why we do this open forum. This is important for us to come together in business. The postpartum doula group or the doula talk group, wherever you guys found me, whichever avenue, maybe you're in my email list, these are all communities, and it's necessary because we don't know everything. So it is important to also network in your own local spaces and finding your own essence that you can bring to the table. Very well said, everyone. Anyone else want to add to words of wisdom when you're going into your doula business? You want to add in stuff? I think
Okay, chill. I will also say that since I am basically starting over, what I did, my very first step that I did, okay, chill, hold on. The very first step that I took was finding all of the local midwives and interviewing them, coming up with a list of questions that are important to me, like, you know, do you support women after 42 weeks, or do you push, you know, holistic, natural induction methods, or what would you do in this situation? And then getting to the bottom of, like, you're not going to know how a provider works until you see them work. You know, word is only word, but you can kind of get a feel for their practice and what they believe by interviewing them. And then that might open an opportunity. Like when I first moved here, I interviewed a midwife. We hit it off, and she said, "Do you want me to add you to my doula list? I work it into my price where everyone gets a doula and they get to pick from a list in my office." And then you'll get paid the remainder. So that can be a really good networking option as well.
Yes, and I think that's important because, well, first you have to take that action, right? And you have to find out what is really important to you as you are a doula. And then you can start to work with other doulas and ask them those questions to make sure that you are partnering up with someone that you align with, because it's really important. We had this conversation in another open forum, I believe it was the one from last month, that sometimes it can get really tricky if you are a backup for another doula and you guys don't have the same values, mission, things just don't click. But when you're working with clients and let's say you're not able to attend their birth and you have to have your backup doula go there, it can feel like it doesn't energetically match for the client, which is something we definitely want to try to keep it in as best alignment as we're able to. It can be hard to kind of find someone that you click with like that. But when you do find the things that work for yourself and you're able to ask those questions to other doulas or providers, then you can really hone in on your tight little network that you do choose to use.
So is it wise to have your backup doula meet with your client the same time as you? So you could, and not be the first initial met is like emergency backup. So you know if they a good match or no.
What do you guys think?
Okay. I think that what I do with my backup doula is I make sure that she has very similar views to me, and I share with her whether she's going to be attending with my client or not. I share with her each prenatal that we go through, and I make sure it's okay with my clients that I do this as well. And I don't bring her along to the appointment, but I will send them each other's contact and encourage them to talk a little bit, just in case in the last few months, just so everyone is aware of what's going on, and everyone kind of has a chance to talk to each other. Because if you bring your backup doula along with you, their energy is probably just going to match your energy. And then the exchange with the client is going to be like, oh yeah, this is fine. But then once that doula is alone with the client, it might feel a little bit different. So I like to encourage them to figure it out. But also I bring her, the backup doula, all the information that I'm receiving.
Yep, I think that's awesome. And you can also, it can be like a Zoom session too. It can be online where the backup doula meets with the client. And so it can be very time convenient, really short, like 20, 30 minutes, unless they need longer. But it can be really relaxed and chill. And that way all your bases are covered.
I was just going to say that I had something come up this past week with a backup doula. So I've never had this come up before, but as a postpartum doula, I have it in my client agreement where it says that, you know, if something comes up and you need to have somebody there, I'll do my best to find a backup doula. I don't say specifically who it is because I have a few different people to choose from, and it depends on who might be available at the time. But I just say, I will do my best to have a backup doula available for you. So what ended up happening last week, I had a client give birth on Thursday, right at the same time that my daughter tested positive for COVID. So not surprisingly, she didn't want to have me visit for a little bit. And as it turns out, I'll be going back, I think on Monday next week to start up with them. But what ended up happening was, you know, she shared the information, she had the baby, and it's like, oh, this is so exciting. I wish I could be there to join you, but this is what's going on. However, I had spoken to one of my backups in the morning and I said, this is what's going on. Would you be available for this client? She said, yes, sure, no problem. And then when I shared the information with the client, I said, this is the name. And then they asked for website and Instagram so that they could kind of check them out behind the scenes. Obviously, I wouldn't be recommending somebody who I didn't feel would be a good fit, but I don't blame them for wanting to check them out. And then I said, it's up to you. Do you want to chat with them and figure stuff out together, or do you want me to kind of be going in between? And they said, oh, no, if we could chat with them. So that all worked out, except that my backup's child ended up getting sick and wasn't able to help. And then my client's toddler ended up developing some sort of rash and said, I can't have anybody over. So, and she's had family with COVID, so she's had no support at all, unfortunately. So it's now been a week since she had her baby, but I think I'll be going over there on Monday. But I talk to her daily. Like, I'm always checking in and seeing how things are going, seeing if there's anything I can share with her. But that was how I approached it. And given that this was my first time, I think it worked out well. I don't know that I would do anything differently for a future time. And like I said, because I have a few backups in place, I wouldn't want to say, I'll bring this person with me, because it depends who's available or not. It's just, I have it in the client agreement that I will do my best to find a backup doula for you. So that was my experience.
You handled it the best you could, which is good. So I'm sure she understands that.
No, I agree. You handled that so well. And wow, that was full on, huh?
Yeah.
And what's really beautiful though about all of this is that it was so easy for you to pivot into, well, I'm supporting you through text and email and the other avenues that you provide, which I think is really important because of what we all experienced with the pandemic. And a lot of us, a lot of people did go online to support people through that pandemic, through that period. And some people didn't have that connection with doing things online and virtually, which is okay as well. But things like this are going to pop up, especially in the realm of kids. This stuff happens with the COVID is still around. So even if virtual support isn't something that you want to do, what can you offer in exchange to still support these clients when things like that happen? And Jennifer, you've got your backup, and then you handled it so seamlessly, which is beautiful. And so I challenge you guys to think about, okay, so what are some of my backups, scenarios or people I can go to or offer services that I can provide as a backup for certain situations. And if you guys have any ideas about that now, you can share them or just sit on it and think about it. And you can send me a comment later if you'd like to. But I think it's a great example. Thank you for sharing all that, Jennifer. And of course, it's helpful to Toya too.
What worked really well for me too is in my client agreement, it says that if I am going with a backup doula, I may share any personal relevant information about the client with them. So I have a client intake form. The questionnaire is probably 8 pages long or so, that I have it where they fill it out. And I was able to have a Zoom chat with the backup doula and basically talk to her about, okay, I've had all of these meetings with this client. These are the things that are coming up as kind of key themes for them, things that are going to be important in these first couple visits. And I was able to share the intake form with her, and it worked out so well. I mean, it's unfortunate that she couldn't jump in, but everything just happened to kind of blow up all at once. But I know for future, that worked well, and I'm happy with that.
Oh, this is amazing. So if you're just getting on now, we are the topic that we're kind of digesting and talking about today is what are you currently working on? And so we've had a couple people share. Just now we were discussing Toya because she is in the certification process. She's getting ready to go into the space and seeing clients. So we were sharing with her some wisdom that, things that we've experienced or what we wish we would have known when we were going into that space. So that was awesome. And I love that. Anybody else want to share what they're going through? We have about 10 minutes left for this call today. So yeah, anybody else want to share? We probably have time for like one or two more. Oh yeah, Cece, hey.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Nyceria Anderson, aka Cece. So I just started my business this summer, and it turns out there's a lot more to do, and like the business part. I'm babysitting my 4-year-old and 2-year-old siblings right now. So. Hi.
Got all the babies here in the kids today.
Yeah, well, it's our livelihood. All right, go play with your toys. But yeah, I am in the process of getting my donor certification, my complete donor certification. I already have half of the work done, but I need to put the rest of the work in. But yes, I've already had 2 clients. I was actually there for my mom's 2 last births. So the 2 that I'm babysitting right now, I was there for their birth. So yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, I'm just starting out. The best thing that I learned about starting a business, connection is like the most important thing. Like you have to be connecting with people, with midwives, with other doulas. Like you just have to be connecting with people in the field of like birth. And so yeah, that's basically what I'm working on right now. I'm just working on connecting and like getting ready to have clients.
Oh, that's so exciting, Cece. Welcome and congratulations on already having 2. And you're in it, which is really amazing. And we have to remember to celebrate ourselves whenever we have accomplishments like this. And even if they're small, I think it's really important and sometimes missed because we're in this mode of like, go, go, go. And it just gets passed and put to the side. So making sure that we're celebrating ourselves. And then I love what you said, Cece, because it's going to lead into this next topic, connection. And you said the word connecting. And that's a verb. That's like you're actually doing it. You're in the process of connecting, which is exactly what we're doing right now. We're coming together, even though it's virtual, it's still a connection piece. It's still connecting. And it's really important. And I know I've already said that a couple times on this call, but the presence of all of you guys here in this space shows me that this is something that we need and we desire. And so because Jennifer's here, I'm going to kind of call you out just a little bit. I have a doula business club. Jennifer is one of the members in there. And we get together, we do something similar to this. There is a little bit more structure and there's more training specifically to doula business. But we are a community that gathers together and we discuss things like this and whatever we're kind of moving through, and we have a community that connects and we collaborate together. And if Jennifer, you want to speak on your experience at all, if you don't want to, you don't have to either, but feel free if you would like to.
No, it's been very helpful. It's been nice being able to chat with some of the other doulas in there. And I have found that Melissa has been very responsive to our needs. I know one of the topics that came up that was similar for a few of us was that we've purchased HoneyBook. We don't know what to do with it. And Melissa knows it, And she's actually scheduled in an expert to speak with us in the next couple of months, which is fantastic. Like, she saw, okay, the need is there. These people, you know, they know they have this, but they know they need to do something else with it rather than just pay for it and not do anything. So she met that need, which is really amazing. And it's neat having, you know, some pre-recorded trainings that you can check out at any time, rewatch whenever you want, and then live trainings as well, which are then recorded. So I found it really good. I guess it's been about a month or so that it started. So highly recommend.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, it's a pretty unique structure that we have in there we get one live training a month, and then we have 2 other trainings that come, and then we have an integration week, which means we don't have any trainings and we just kind of soak in the month's trainings and the things that we experienced and digested. And it's really a beautiful flow, great container. If it's something you guys want to check out, we continue this kind of conversation because it's a really good, just like in today, we have a mix of newer doulas and experienced doulas, which really supports the entire community in coming together and bouncing ideas off each other, finding solutions to things that we cannot see because we don't know what we don't know. But when someone can come in with their experience, their perspective, and they're like, hey, why don't you try this? Like what Sarah did with Courtney's class. She's like, oh, a series, you know? And that is like the turning point for people. It's the click, right? That can really propel and move your business forward. So that's my little spiel about the Doula Business Club. But it was so funny how like Jennifer popped in here, and it was just really good timing with what Cece was saying. So I wanted to share that with you guys, offer it to you. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. And I'll put it in the replay of this call so that if anyone's interested in hopping in there, you absolutely can. I would love to have you guys. This was a really great call. Does anybody else have feedback they would like to share, or you want to say anything these last couple minutes of the call?
I would love to chime in and say thank you to start with. This is very helpful. And I personally also host in-person meetings in the Valley once a month that just help. We just talk about everything birth and postpartum, references, we share resources. So that's also a good spot to come. And I'd love to check out your space as well, your course and your program. And thank you so much for hosting this. It was lovely.
Oh, you're so welcome. And we do this once a month. So every second Thursday of the month, we're going to have this. I'll pop it into all the spaces. So you guys are always welcome to come. Or if you're in my email list, you will get the replay of it if you're not able to attend live. So yeah, every month it's free.
Thank you. And I'd just like to maybe offer, I'm also a 1,200-hour trained yoga and meditation teacher. And I do like these meditations, which is an open for all doulas, where I do meditation for doulas just to release the stress and anxiety of our work. And Melissa, I can share the link with you and you can send it out to everyone if they're interested.
Okay, yeah, if anyone says that they'd like it, if you can feel free to pop it into the chat if you have it. And then
I don't have the Zoom link at the moment, but I will definitely send it to you if that helps, or I'll put it on the postpartum group, the doula group.
There you go. That would be perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any last thoughts? Okay, this was so fun, guys. Thank you for being here. And I hope to see you at the next free call. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.